her, we are going to get started lying down on our mat in crocodile, 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 crocodile. So lying down on your bellies, stacking up forearms in front of you, and forehead down on your forearms. And if this is not comfortable, one, you're very normal, but two, you can take any other variation. If you want to lie on your side, if you want to lie on your back, you're welcome to take that. So take a few moments, just breathe. Knowing that this next 45 minutes, it's all about you and your mat. Monday, we did all of those pulsing lunges and squats. And so today, we're not pulsing anything. But we are going to find some strength in some sneaky kind of ways. Really focusing on finding length and strength through the back. We'll say the back. Not just the back, because we are going to tap into the obliques, but so a little bit more upper body, and not just strengthening, because it's going to be sneaky strengthening, but we are not going to neglect the lower body. We're definitely going to give those areas some love as well. So taking your hands out wide. So you can do flat hands, or you can do cupcake fingers, where you have your fingertips down and your palms lifted like you have a cupcake underneath your hands, and you don't want to get the icing on your hands. You really decide which one you want to take. But your elbows are up high, forehead's down on the mat. I just want you to do that rock side to side, our little slithering snake side to side. I keep reading all these stories about how, with the cicadas coming out, copperheads will eat the cicadas. So it's possible we might see more copperheads. And I was like, no thanks. No thanks. Just rocking side to side, not even lifting up yet. We're just bringing in movement, motion, fluidity into the upper part of the body. Bring it back to center. You can place your forehead on the mat, or you can let it hover above it. It's your choice. And then a little rock side to side again, lifting up a little bit. So pull the belly in and up while you lift up. Think baby cobra here. So chest is up, shoulders are up. You can lift your head if it feels good. Bring it back to center, bring it all the way back down. We're going to do it again. So side to side, slithering movement. Bringing it up into your little baby cobra. Little baby cobra. I've lived in Pennsylvania for about a year and a half, getting close to 2 years. And I've seen more snakes in the last year and a half than I have in my entire lifetime. I don't know what it is about Pennsylvania. Now we're going to bring it back to center. Keep the chest lifted. And we're going to slide the hands underneath for Sphinx pose. So I said hands, that was a lie. We're going to slide the elbows underneath. Elbows underneath. So you're placing weight into the forearms, not the elbows. If there's pinching in your low back, one, make sure your belly's pulled in and up. And two, take your legs a little bit wider. Next, Exhale, bring it all the way back down. Rest your forehead down, rest your arms down. You can take crocodile or you can just rest. Take a moment just to breathe. Next, inhale, lift up into a tabletop position. On your hands and knees, few rounds of cat-cow, working on upper and lower body simultaneously. So taking a breath, find cow pose. Backside lift up and behind you. Belly's down, chest and chin lift. Exhale, cat pose. Tuck the tailbone, chin to the chest, arch up through the spine. Again, inhale, cow pose. Just kidding. I notoriously want to mix up cat and cow. So we're in cow. Exhale, cat pose. Inhale back to a neutral spine. Tuck under your toes, lift your hips, down dog. Find some movement within your pose should you want movement. Maybe you want to just settle in. Maybe you want all the movement. Do what works for you. Next, exhale, walk your feet to the top of the mat. So you're into a forward fold. Let yourself hang here for a few moments, always with the option to find movement. Taking a breath, lift up halfway. Create that illusion of a flat back. Exhale as you fold. Inhale all the way up to standing. Reach the arms all the way overhead. Once you get the arms all the way up, I want you to stand here, weirdly, in mountain pose, but the arms are extended up. And so the arms are extended up. And I want you to just find some movement with the shoulders. So bring them up, bring them down. You know, there's lots of debate about whether your shoulders should be reaching up in the pose or not. And really, it's all about what's your neck doing. So find some movement with those arms lifted up. We're going to spend a little bit of time with those arms lifted up. So we're just getting ready for it. Settle back into the pose with arms extended up. Exhale, forward fold. Taking in a breath, lift up halfway. Create that illusion of a flat back. Exhale as you fold. Hands to the mat. Left foot steps back into a lunge. A runner's lunge. The right knee's bent. Left heel is lifted. Taking in a breath. Come all the way up to crescent lunge. So arms are lifted. You're on the ball of the left foot. The higher your left heel lifts, the more you're going to change what's happening in the left leg. You might even have to adjust what's happening in the pelvis. And so you kind of get to decide, do you want the heel lifted? Do you want the heel kind of pushing back towards the floor? There is no right or wrong answer. Next, inhale. Open it up, warrior two. Right knee's bent. Belly's in and up. Really keeping those hips parallel with each other. And the first one to let that left hip pop out. Don't let it happen. There's that fine line between Opening too far and not enough if those arms are a little bit closer together. And again, it's not wrong. Just find something that's not too comfortable, where you're still working, but you're not straining. Next, inhale, reverse your warrior. Right arm reaches up and over. So this left hand, it can come to the left leg, but we're not dumping into it. Right knee stays bent. Trust me, it's easier to pull back a little bit. Makes things so comfortable. We're not going for comfortable today. So keep your right knee bent. On an exhale, extended side angle. So right forearm can go to the right thigh. Perhaps you take right hand to the floor. And then left hand can either reach for the ceiling or it can come by your ear. Reach for the wall in front of you. On an exhale, we're going to take both hands to the mat, either side of the right foot. Pivot the left foot. So you're on the ball of the foot again. We're going to take this back into a three-legged dog. So hands plant, right leg lifts up and behind you. Foot is flexed. The right foot is flexed. So you're pushing through the right heel, feeling as though your leg's growing longer. Your back is getting a little stretch. On an exhale, right foot comes down, down dog. Step or jump your feet to the top of the mat. Lift up halfway. Exhale as you fold. Inhale all the way up to standing. Reach the arms all the way overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Taking a breath, lift up halfway. Exhale as you fold, hands to the mat. This time, right foot steps back for your runner's lunge. Next, inhale. Bring the arms up overhead. Crescent lunge. Sometimes it's hard to get there. And it's not even a full moon, but you know, we'll find a way to blame a full moon. Remember, you're keeping those arms overhead, and it's okay to find that shoulder movement. Or you may perhaps found a shoulder location that really feels good with the arms overhead. Next, inhale, warrior two. Warrior two is one of those poses that you could continuously make fine-tunement to every part of the body here and still feel something different. Next, inhale, reverse your warrior. Left arm reaches up and overhead. Again, knee stays bent, not dumping onto this right thigh. Exhale, extended side angle. And again, find your variation. It might not be the same on this side as it was the other side. Exhale, hands to the mat. Pivot the right foot, you're on the ball of the foot. Left leg lifts up and behind you, three-legged dog. Hips are in line with each other. We're not opening the hip. Exhale the left foot down, down dog. step or jump your feet, top of the mat. Lift up halfway. Exhale as you fold. Inhale all the way up, standing. Arms reach all the way overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Taking a breath. Lift up halfway. Stay right here. Stay right here, but take your arms out to the side. So you're having to pull your belly in and up a little bit more in order to stay in the pose. Exhale, fold all the way down. Left foot steps back. Runner's lunge. Inhale the arms up, crescent lunge. We're going to keep the arms overhead. So don't open them. Keep them straight overhead. But taking a breath, open it up for warrior two legs. So still with arms overhead. Again, those fine little, tiny little changes that are going to change the pose. That's what we have to work through. Keep the arms overhead. Keep the belly in and up. Inhale and reverse your warrior. So stay in the lunge. Your arms are reaching towards the back of the mat, reaching over the left leg. Next, inhale, bring the arms overhead. I want you to imagine extended side angle, but we're not going to go as far. Arms stay lifted overhead. Exhale, extended side angle. So it's much easier to roll the left shoulder forward. I want you to stay open. So that might mean you're really high up, and that's okay. We're still tapping into some strength here. Inhale the arms up. Straighten your right leg. Keep the leg straight. Arms still overhead. We're going to do not a reverse warrior. Think reverse triangle. So the arms reach up and over again. This time the legs are straight. Exhale, triangle. So again, we're still reaching those arms. They're still reaching long. And if this is difficult, you're in the right spot. If this is easy, we need to adjust something. Keep the left arm open. Inhale, bring it up. Turn your right toe to point to the left. Exhale, wide leg forward fold. Take your hands down to the mat. So taking a breath, lifting up essentially halfway, but hands are on the floor. You're going to bend your right knee. So you have a couple options here. As always, side lunge, keeping the right knee bent, you're hinging forward, left foot stays down. That's your option. Or you can take it low into our crouching warrior, our little Skandasana pose. Now, no matter which option you chose, if you're up in that side lunge, right arm's going to go right there on the right inner thigh. Otherwise, if you're down low, right hand can go to the floor. Taking a breath, open up the left arm. So we're strengthening, keeping our arms lifted as much as we are. We're strengthening into our lats. We are getting our back so much stronger. Exhale, the arm down. Shift back to a center with that half lift, the wide legs. We're going to take it to the left side. The left knee bends. And again, you might be side lunge. You can even take side lunge. I'm okay with you resting on your left thigh here. And you could take a little less strength and a little more length. That's okay. Or you can take it low into your skandasana, your crouching warrior. And then whenever you get into whatever pose you choose, left arm's on the inside of the thigh, or if you take it to the floor, you're welcome to take it outside the thigh. It's really your choice. Inhale, right arm's out and up. Take a moment just to breathe. Exhale the right arm down, coming back center into that half lift, wide legs, long enough to walk yourself over the right foot. You're back into a runner's lunge. Hands playing down. We're going into three-legged dog. Right leg lifts up and behind you as you push back into the dog. Really reach through the heel of the foot here. Exhale the right foot down, down dog. Walk your feet to the top of the mat. Lift up halfway. Exhale as you fold. Inhale all the way up to standing. Arms reach all the way overhead. And again, exhale, forward fold. Taking a breath, lift up halfway. Pull the belly in and up. Keep it fully engaged. And then arms out to the sides. Notice how your shoulder blades feel. The shoulder blades on your back. Notice how they're feeling right now. Hopefully a little bit stronger. Hopefully like they're able to squeeze together a little easier. Like you haven't rounded forward from sitting all day. Exhale, fold down. Right foot steps to the back of the mat, runner's lunge. Inhale, crescent lunge. Maybe. Balance is always subjective. So once we get here, we're going to keep those arms overhead. We're not changing the arm position. Inhale, warrior two legs. So again, when we're in warrior two, our hips are not fully open. It's darn near impossible for it to happen. So our shoulders are stacked over our hips. So my shoulders are not squared to the wall. They can't be because my shoulders aren't. So my arms overhead is not going to be perfectly in line with the wall. I'm going to be opened up a little bit more on the left side. That's okay. Next inhale, reverse warrior. Keep the belly in and up. Next inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, extended side angle essentially, but we're not rounding the right shoulder forward. So we might not go that far. That's okay. I'd rather you work more strength than rounding the shoulder forward and trying to look a certain way. Inhale, upright. Straightening the left leg. Same concept, but we're doing it with triangle. So on an exhale, reverse triangle. If you take this in a really like slouched, lazy way, your body's not going to love it as much. So keep the belly in and up. Inhale, upright. Exhale, triangle. You might not go that far. Keep the shoulder open. Inhale up, pivot the left foot, same direction as the right. Exhale, forward fold. Consider this that relaxing moment of your arms. Taking in a breath, lifting up just halfway. Bend the left knee, and again, your choice. Side lunge or taking it down into your crouching warrior. Your choice, always. Left arm's either on the inside of the thigh or hands to the floor. Inhale, right arm out and up. So we're opening the chest, working into those shoulder blades. Exhale the hands down. Come back to center with that half lift, wide legs. We take it over to the right side. So right side, either side lunge or take it low. It's all your choice. Right hands down. Inhale, left arm out and up. Exhale the left hand down. Bring it back center. And then pivot over the left foot. Back into your runner's lunge. And then take it into three-legged dog. Left leg goes up high in the sky. Exhale the left foot down. Back into down dog. Come forward into a high plank. On an exhale, lower all the way down. Untuck the toes. Taking in a breath. Lift up for cobra. Cobra, you decide how high you lift. Exhale, lower all the way down. Rock the hips side to side. We're going back into baby cobra. Don't think I'm weird. Well, you can, but know that I have intentions. So back into a baby cobra. Belly's in and up, taking in a breath. Lift it for baby cobra, and then lift the hands off the mat. Keep the elbows squeezed in close. Notice all the work the upper body's doing. Where you're looking, it's your choice. You can look straight out in front of you. You can look down at the floor underneath your face. Every so often, check to make sure you're still lifted and you're not creeping down. Again, if you feel pinching in your low back, one, make sure your belly's in and up and you have a little tuck of the tailbone. And then also take your legs a little wider. Exhale, come all the way back down. Place your forehead on the mat. Rock your hips side to side. Let's do that again because it was so much fun. Taking in a breath, lift up for a little baby cobra. Lifting the hands off the mat. Keep your belly in and up. If you do nothing else, keep your belly in and up. Obviously, I want you to breathe. Obviously, I want you to stay lifted. Obviously, I don't want you to feel any pain. But keep your belly in and up if you can't do all of them. Exhale, lower back down. Rock your hips side to side. Just because sometimes a little something can creep into the low back. This will prevent that little something from creeping in. And then extend the arms forward. We're going to do a locust pose. but we're going to do the Superman variation. It's this, I meant to say Superman variation of locust, but it started coming out locust variation of Superman, which I guess doesn't really matter either way. So we are definitely lifting upper body. If your low back's not feeling it, you don't have to lift the legs, but you have the option to lift your legs. Bellies in and up, definitely. On an inhale, lift up. On an exhale, sweep the arms out to the sides, reach them down by your sides, so fingertips point towards the toes. And then on another breath, sweep the arms out to the sides and forward. Exhale, bring it all down. Rock the hips side to side. You know we're going to do it again. I feel like one's just not enough. And like I said, it's a sneaky little strength. So taking a breath, lift up. And then on an exhale, sweep the arms out to the sides, reaching them towards your toes. Keep the belly in and up always. Legs lifted is always optional. Not always. It is 95% of the time. Next, inhale, sweep the arms out to the sides and then forward. Stay up. Stay up. Next, exhale, sweep them out to the sides and down. Next, inhale, sweep the arms out to the sides and forward. Exhale, bring it all down. Rock your hips side to side. And then push yourself back up into tabletop. We're going back into cat-cow. Back into cat-cow. Just to see how it feels compared to the beginning of the practice. So taking in a breath. Find a cow pose. I always say find a cow pose, and I always think, well, I'm going to find it on someone else because I don't want to do it. That's just a joke, though. On an exhale, cat pose. I almost said dog pose. That doesn't work. Inhale, cow pose. Take a special awareness to the shoulder blades. What's happening with the shoulder blades? Exhale, cat pose. Inhale back to a neutral spine. And then take a little child's pose. Take the knees wide. Sit your hips back. Arms extended forward. Now you have the choice. You can stay in our standard child's pose, or you can walk the arms over to the right side, keeping your hips where they were, so there's some length occurring in the left side of the body. Taking in a breath, bring it back center, just long enough to take it over to the left side. Taking in a breath, bring it back to center. Next, inhale, walk it all the way up. Swing the legs out in front. So we're going to do a variation on fish pose. So you kind of get to decide, do you want knees bent or do you want legs lengthened in front of you? It is your choice. But you're going to bring your hands to the floor behind you. Ideally, fingertips pointed towards you, and you want them in kind of close. You could even sit on them if you wanted to. And then we're just going to lean back onto the elbows and forearms. Okay, so we're on our forearms. Chest is lifted. Chest is up, shoulder blades squeeze together. Put them on the iPad then, Nora. Walk away from me. Chest is up, shoulder blades squeezing together on the back. Now, the chest is up, very similar to what we did in Cobra pose, we Sphinx pose, very similar. Now, what happens with your head is entirely your choice. If you're actively squeezing the shoulder blades together, you create this little shelf that your head could rest on. This is not always comfortable for a lot of people. So you're welcome to keep your head lifted. Always keep the chest lifted. Always keep the shoulder blades squeezing together. Don't get comfortable here. On your next inhale, very gently lift your head if it's not already. Lower all the way down onto your back. Pull your knees into your chest. Hug them there. Squeezing in tight. Lifting your head up, nose towards your knees. I feel like there was probably a time in my life where I could get nose to the knees, but I like to eat too much. I don't think it'll happen anytime soon. Exhale, bring the head back down, and then knees in. Take both your knees over to the right side of your body. So arms go out in a T shape. We're in our final recline twist. Focus on keeping your left shoulder down. Bring in a lot of the attention and awareness of the twist into the upper part of the body. Taking a breath, bring the knees back into the chest. And on an exhale, take them both to the left side, keeping the right shoulder down. Focusing on the twist through the upper part of the body. Obviously, the lower part's getting some enjoyment too, which is really nice because your legs were holding you up in those lunges. So we gave the lower part a little love. We gave a lot of sneaky strength to the upper back. It's going to help us. One of the many muscle groups that help us sit upright. Of course, it's impossible. It is impossible. I don't know anyone that can sit upright at a desk all day long. Taking in a breath, bring the knees back into the chest. Hug them there. Squeezing in tight. This is where you get to thank yourself for coming into the practice today. On an exhale, extend yourself out into a Shavasana. A Shavasana of your choice, whatever works for you. And when you get into that sweet spot, close your eyes, lengthen, and deepen your breath. Allowing yourself to relax and giving yourself the rest that you deserve. Bringing the awareness back into your breath, back into your body. As you bring in those little movements into the fingers and toes. And those little movements work their way to ankles and wrists. And rocking the head side to side. Roll to one side of your body into a fetal position where you just get to take a moment and be aware. Notice what's happening or what's not happening. Sometimes there's big shifts that occur in a practice. And of course, sometimes they build up over time to create the big shift. On your next inhale, push yourself up into a comfortable seat. Once you get into that comfortable seat, close your eyes. Bring your palms together at heart center. With all of the gratitude for joining me in practice today, with everything in me, thanking and honoring everything in you. Namaste. Awesome. Glad you all joined me on a Thursday.
Namaste, Deanne.
I know. Remember, I'm not here next Thursday, but